Welcome to FanTVnChill. Thank you for joining us and tuning in. As usual, please follow and subscribe the channel. So let's get to it. Match week 5/6 with United still to play a game in hand. We've got Arsenal playing Leicester. We've got Liverpool versus Sheffield United. And then we've got Man United versus Chelsea. Interesting weekend, ups and downs. But let's get straight to it. Obviously, this moment in time, Liverpool sit highest in the league. So we'll get straight to it into Liverpool versus Sheffield United.
Yeah, cool. Back where we belong slightly in it, and
Oh, you're not back where you belong. I mean, if you're talking about yourself, then judging from last season, yes, but not your team. Your team are not top.
we joined top.
Your team are not top.
We joined top.
But are you top?
Joint top?
That's why.
You're not joint top. Yeah.
13
No,
each.
let me.
I'm sure.
Nah, it's Everton and Aston Villa, didn't you?
We're definitely above Villa.
Let me
Villa
check.
lost.
Nah, sorry, you're not joint
Let's
top.
have-
We are joined top.
You're not joined top
Yeah,
because
right.
Everton are top by goal difference. So if the
Oh,
if no. If the season, don't chat shit like that.
If you didn't watch the
if
table,
the season
if you
was
didn't
to
say
end
that,
right now,
what would you have pictured that?
if the
Would you say
season,
they're
say
top
what
by
you
points,
want.
right?
But if the season was to
Man
end
City-
right
Man City
now,
got a league on goal difference, man.
if the season was to end right now,
You
Everton
man
would
are
win the league. So don't chat shit.
You man are actually
Don't chat
sad.
shit. Don't chat shit.
Say if you never said
Alright,
about
let's
the
get
goal
to 38
difference.
games. 38 games and you're both sitting top but with the same points, but Everton are goal difference. Who wins the league? That's what it comes down to. About second.
It's a minor argument, isn't it, anyway, but you know what? I'm the highest here, so that's fine. My team is good. We're doing alright. Yeah, big game against Sheffield, playing at home. Obviously, we kind of, you know what Sheffield about. They've had a bad start to the season in terms of results, but first time I watched them, obviously, was against us, but I was expecting exactly what I saw. It a difficult game because they're a hard working team, well drilled, and it was one of them I knew that I was confident that we were gonna win, but you expected it to be tough. But I think we started extremely well. Like we put them under pressure in the first 5, maybe 10 minutes. We could have got a goal possibly in those early the first few minutes, but we didn't. And the first goal is always key against the likes of Sheffield because they're so compact. If you score first, you force them to go into almost plan B, and then that could always play to your advantage. But unfortunately for us, we didn't score, and then they built a bit of a momentum. To be fair, they played really well. Whether it's them play well or Liverpool as well, not necessarily using the right tactics. The main, again, we're going to talk about VAR there. For me, my personal opinion now, put my Liverpool hat to the side. If you ask my opinion, get rid of VAR today, I'll say 100% because I think it's just trash. I'd rather human errors, then at least we can say at least the ref didn't see it or whatever. It creates a bit of a debate, but that's fine. But
So did this? Because obviously I didn't watch it live with you guys. So I didn't actually fully watch it, but I just remember hearing they said that his foot was on the line.
No, well, put it this way, like from what I saw anyway, definite free kick. You could argue, I wouldn't say definite because it was one of them.
Well, it was the argument that was put forward. If the referee had given a free kick, it would have been an indirect. I think they said it would have been an indirect free kick. So because of the position,
why would it be an indirect free kick?
Because it was on the line, and I think the ones, free kicks inside the box or I think on the line tend to be indirect. So somebody has to touch it before you can kick it.
I didn't even know that.
I'm sure that's the rule. If a free kick happens inside the box, it's counted as indirect.
Why would the free kick be inside the box anyway?
It does happen. It has happened in the past.
But there'll be specific, not on the back of a tackle.
No, I don't. It'll be on the back of like a pass back. A pass back.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like
if you foul someone in their box, it's
something like a
But
pass
they
back.
were saying because his foot was on the line, it classes him being in the box.
That doesn't. because everyone after the game was saying it wasn't even on the line even. So it was I think for Fabinho his foot more was on the line than his, but from just watching it, the second replay on TV, you're like, yeah, that's not in the box, that's a free kick at least. But I called it, I said, but knowing VAR, they're probably gonna give it a pen, and obviously they did, and it's shambolic, it's crazy. But luckily for us, we managed to get a goal in the first half, which was super important. And again, we weren't particularly playing well from that time. We were just playing into their hands, not really using the midfield too well. But decent little play between Hendo and initially Hendo and what's his name again, Trent Arnold. But then Hendo ended up crossing the ball. Mane had a header, and the keeper saved it into Firmino's hand, and it was an easy tap in even for him. If he missed it there, I just probably would have lost faith in him. But yeah, good for him to get his goal. Even though we don't rely on him for goals, but I think it's still super important. And obviously, second half we started well. We changed tactic. We did what we needed to do in the first half. Be a bit more patient, and you could see Firmino was advised to sort of drop a lot deeper, so play in the pocket, and obviously let Jota be furthest forward and as part of the front three. And yeah, they couldn't necessarily handle that too much. And I can't remember when we scored, but before that, we had Salah's goal disallowed. Hell of a finish, but obviously that was offside. But you can't really argue with that. And then it wasn't too long afterwards.
2 minutes.
Yeah, 2 minutes afterwards we get the goal. And again, great play by Mane. Just because he was quite quick and good ball. I'm not expecting that for Sheffield. They'll be fuming because obviously, but I think it's more the pace of it, because Mane, as a fullback, you're thinking Mane is on his left foot, even though we know he can use his left foot. He just went past him, put the ball in, great ball. Jota happened to be there. I didn't understand how, but I'm not complaining. Great finish, 2-1, and then I don't think we created much after that. There wasn't really much threat. The timing of goals is everything in football, isn't it? So, if they didn't score early, who knows? And but anyway, VAR not for me. But we won the game, 3 points, joint top, and we keep going.
So the second game, the weekend, Arsenal playing at home to Leicester. I sat here on the preview episode and I said, that I expected to win, a 1-goal win. Obviously, we need to, and I also said we need to start beating teams that are in the top 6. Also, we're classing Leicester as a top 6 side, given their ventures in the past few seasons. The formation was a bit different to how we've been playing recently. Obviously, we've been having the 3 centre backs with the wing backs, but it seemed as if he went for like a 4-3-3. Sorry, 4-3-3. But the only issue that I took from the team selection was back to what Arnold said on I can't remember if he said it on the preview episode or if he said it on the review episode of last week, in regards to we played in the middle. We had Xhaka, Ceballos, and Partey, and obviously with that you then rely on your front three to create for themselves.
Unless you're getting something on the counter, there's no one that's played that penetrating pass where you'd probably get Ozil, but obviously he's not allowed to play for you guys at the moment. So.
And because we didn't have that then creativity, and given the fact of Leicester's, I think they had a few injuries, we needed to probably kind of like capitalise on the lack of bodies they had in the middle. But it's like we kind of played with 3 DMs in the middle. And obviously with the way that Leicester play with the counter attack style, and especially with the fact they didn't have Vardy in the first half, it didn't equate. We did have a lot of joy in the first half. We in regards to the first few minutes when we had the goal disallowed, I initially thought that it was disallowed just where we just disallowed, but when you analyse it, Xhaka's not interfering with Kasper Schmeichel when the header. He has no chance of saving the header, and also when the header's made, he's not in the way of Kasper Schmeichel. So it kind of should have been given in that sense. But I can kind of understand why human error would give that against us. Obviously, that's how it goes. And obviously, goals change games. If we did score that goal early on, it would mean that then Leicester would have to come out and play more. When they had, obviously, Brendan Rodgers had a tactic which they employed well. So you go into the second half, I think the creativity in the second half was even less in the second, which and I feel like we ran out of ideas also. And obviously, like I said, with the lack of creativity in the second half, we then we couldn't do anything. And then obviously got to put when Vardy came on, and then as soon as Vardy comes on, the way that Leicester play is now implemented, because they played in the first half with Harry Barnes at top. And don't get me wrong, Harry Barnes is kind of like Vardy in the sense of he's quick, he's nimble and stuff, and he's good with his feet and stuff. But he's not a striker. He's not a wing. He's like a wing forward, and he's not a wing forward that scores goals. He's a wing forward that has chances but doesn't score many. So obviously, once Vardy does come on, they're playing the way they play, then it becomes easy. And obviously, because like I said before about the change of formation, we were higher up in the pitch, which then is just you. I just feel like Arteta was outclassed by Brendan Rodgers. You don't, because we've said it previously in regards to like Liverpool with your high line and stuff, but it's different when you got a high line like that. But we don't have the centre backs with attributes to be able to be playing them kind of high lines. So we're playing it, and then I think even before the goal, there was a couple of chances before where they could have played the ball over the top of work, but it didn't work out. Once it happened, and obviously that the goal happened, you could see the goal was coming, and obviously they scored.
It's risky business as well, and it's given that's Leicester's main weapon, really.
Yeah,
if you
very,
do
very risky. That's what I was saying about Brendan Rodgers. He outfought Arteta in that sense, which is mad, because I've never really said that. I've never really said that he's been outfought from another manager, but he did. Obviously, like I said, the transfer window's closed. We didn't buy that man for Lyon, so we've maybe in hindsight, Arteta probably would have went into the game with a different kind of ethos, and maybe thought about his opposition. Then, because I know obviously, I think I've said on previous that we need to not worry about what the opposition do, but maybe he should have thought about what the opposition and what the attributes were going forward. So overall, I'd say for me, the first half we actually did played well in the first half, but the second half it was poor. We ran out of ideas, and I'd say that outdone by Brendan Rodgers tactically. So yeah.
For that game, up front, did you play Lacazette in the middle? Do you reckon future games you need to play Aubameyang in the middle? Because when you said, when you get half chances, you need somebody. I'm not saying Lacazette isn't a good striker, but you need somebody who's going to take a half chance.
The only thing I would say is he played because I think he played Aubameyang for the middle the week before against Man City, and he didn't play well. I don't know if he had that on his mind. And obviously, if we're being totally honest, Aubameyang hasn't been hitting the ground running this season as he was last. And also,
but I don't think last season he didn't play there as well, did he? He played more
left wing forward. But I'm saying in terms of scoring goals, he hit the ground running last season when we started. He's not hitting the ground as much. Obviously, Lacazette's got more goals than him this season, and he's been over. And even though Lacazette maybe has missed a few chances, like the Liverpool game when he missed that chance, 2 chances, sorry, even though one was offside. He has looked more vibrant in the middle than Aubameyang has been in the middle. So maybe he had that in his mind. But yeah.
Cool. Right. Moving on to Chelsea versus Man United. Old Trafford obviously was a big game. It was a difficult game against Chelsea. Obviously last season we did well against them in the league, and it was always going to be a difficult game at home. But straight from there off, I'll say I just thought the game was boring. It was boring. It lacked, and this is from both sides. It lacked a lot of, a spark or something special from a player on the pitch. Chances in the game. Apart from Rashford, and this is where the game you can win a game on those chances. I really felt like Rashford should have scored that. That's a goal. That's a goal he should have scored and put in the back of the net, and then we should be 1-0 up. And then he had a 1-on-1 with the keeper, and the keeper saved Mendy. Is it Mendy? What's the keeper's name?
Mendy,
yeah, he saved it. He stuck his leg out and he saved it. But that's like I say, in big games, you're going to get half a chance, or maybe you get one or two decent chances. And we've got to take them, and we've got to make it happen. But that's it. If you don't take them, you don't win games.
The
penalty
incident.
The penalty incident. Oh yeah, we were lucky, to be honest, to get away with that. If
what was that?
When Harry Maguire had his arms lower.
It's a straight on. Like I say, with VAR, things like that should be given as a penalty. But on the other hand, you will probably see another incident of where that happens this season, and again, it's the same thing. It doesn't get given. But if it was against, I felt like the ref. I don't think they even reviewed it. I don't even think the referee went to the monitor and checked it. So the referee should have went to the monitor and obviously checked that. But obviously,
definitely the VAR probably definitely didn't review it, because if VAR would have, they probably would have said for him to have a little look. They had to have. But
I'm not going to say anything. We were lucky to get away with it, so we move on. Maybe going forward, I don't think maybe we're playing some of the players in the right position we should be. And when I say some of the players, talk about Pogba and Bruno. This is where I think some of the games, I think we just have to play one player who can, whether that's Matic or McTominay. I think what we need to do is play one of them and just have one of them just sitting, not going forward. And then just between Pogba, Bruno and Donny, just have them two playing further up the pitch.
Donny ever going to get a chance?
What?
Donny ever going to get a chance, you think?
We've played 5 games. He's just come into the team this season. He will get his chance.
Do you think he deserves to do you think he deserves? Do you think that he deserves more appearance time than he's got?
He does deserve more, and he will get more. But it's only 5 games which have gone in the season. If it comes up to 20 and it's still the same situation, it's like, well, what's the point if you're not going to give him a chance? But we've only played 5 games, and the it's a long season.
Do you still feel as if you need him?
I 100%.
What makes you say that?
Look at last season before we got Bruno Fernandes. We were struggling with creativity. If we lose Bruno, say we lose Bruno or we lose Pogba and we lost both of them, like just going by last season before we had Bruno, we were dead. We had no creativity. We had nobody doing what Bruno was doing on the edge of the box or making runs into the box to make something happen. We didn't have that.
So you're saying, like Below said, so you're saying that you think he's a backup answer to Pogba and Bruno, yeah?
In terms of him coming to the club, don't get me wrong. At this moment in time, when I say we need him, I mean we need him to cover those players. But at the same time, he can rightly come in, and who knows, he can. Like I said, Pogba hasn't been playing well this season.
So given like you said, Pogba got benched.
Yeah.
I think it was kind of like time for him to come in and.
What, for Donny to come in and start? He needs to play.
He should have.
He needs to play. What?
Do you think he should have?
Do I think she should have played that game?
Yeah.
Look. Well, hindsight is a mad thing, but looking back on it, you'd have probably said he should have started. But obviously, I didn't say he should have started that game because it's against Chelsea. But this is what I mean. He needs to play, and I think we need to change where we play. We just play Pogba and Bruno Fernandes further up top, and just have one player, whether it's McTominay, Fred, one of them just sit and hold and let Pogba, Bruno a Rashford, all the rest, just let them play further up front. If we want to get, if we 100% want to get top 4, or if we want to progress in the Champions League to a later stage, there's got to be more conviction about how we're playing. It just cannot be like last season. Has to be more conviction in how we're playing. And once we get that conviction in how we're playing, I'm sure we'll start making more chances. But yeah, going forward, we definitely need to change what we're going to do between Bruno and Pogba, because there are two most important players that can make the difference in us winning a trophy. So we need to really work on how we can make them both fit into that team.
It was such a poor game from both. Even Chelsea was so poor. I think that game, you know how I said Chelsea we had this debate about who's going to finish on top. Based on that game, that just confirms that even though you guys were super poor, Chelsea are not. They are a lot worse than we're probably making them out to be, because they've got the players.
But it's what Willie said, the gelling.
They need time. They need time.
They still haven't sorted out their defence.
But it looks like they didn't really, even from. I think that's more the manager as well. It looks like they went there. Let's go there not to get beat, and then it was.
They're not going to say you man played them 4 times. You played each other 4 times last season, and you beat them 3 times. They won once. Maybe that was more of the ethos.
Yeah, it was just poor. Like, I mean, at least have it go in it. If you lose the game, you lose. It's still early on in the season, but they didn't show anything to challenge for anything this season anyway. But but just poor game anyway. I remember the only excitement was Mendy making the last minute save for me anyway. The only thing that made me happy on that day. Brilliant save, amazing.
Yeah, standard bullshit from pagans, but anyway, we'll keep it moving. So obviously shit week in Manny. Liverpool probably edged it 2-1, but as the saying goes, that's what champions do. And obviously in North London there was no party this week. But anyway, there's still time.
Special mention for me, probably go to Leeds United.
Did they beat Villa?
They beat the mighty Villa.
In a way, yeah, I guess they're an up and coming team, aren't they?
I'm not joking when I say the mighty Villa, but I still feel as if they did deserve a special mention, because out of all the results of the weekend, I feel like that was.
I'm trying to think who else played.
Crystal Palace.
Who did they beat?
Fulham, I think it was.
I mean, yeah, that's not really anything.
Obviously, if you watch the show, you know what's been going on.
They beat the mighty
Everton. Shout out to Southampton.
They beat the mighty Everton.
And obviously, shout out to those pagans who think Southampton will finish in the top 6.
Everton will finish.
Everton will finish in the top 6.
Every time Everton win, I'm just going to send him.
Hold on. This one here.
Every single win.
There might be like Arnold was doing this week when he sent me that message of himself shedding a little tear, thinking back about what he's actually done. It's too late. It's locked in. It's too late.
It wasn't wise at all.
No.
It's obvious to see, man. I called it. I said Southampton will beat Everton. I think they will lose again the next. That's not even me being a pagan, innit? Like, I don't think they're as good as they've. You know what I mean? I keep saying they won like 3-4 games in a row. Come on, mate. Getting cool.
But anyway, as usual, thank you for tuning in. Please leave your comments. Again, it's the same usual shit. Leave your comments. If you think one of us is talking shit, or you don't agree with our opinion, or you want to share your opinion, leave it in the comment section below. Arnold, don't comment, because your opinion is just trash now. It's just trash after what you said. But as usual, please subscribe to the channel, follow and share. Until next week, over and out.